Today we're going way back to the time of Abraham and looking at Genesis 23.
Oh, Genesis 23.
Yeah, a chapter that might seem kind of straightforward at first. Sarah dies, Abraham buys a burial plot. But
Right.
as we get into it, there's actually a ton of fascinating stuff here about the culture and customs of that time.
Yeah, this seemingly, simple transaction of just buying a piece of land is actually really loaded with meaning. We're going to see a lot about ancient burial practices, the importance of land ownership, and even how Abraham, a nomad,
Right, a nomad.
navigated these interactions with the local Hittites. It's really fascinating.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Sarah, Abraham's wife, dies at the age of 127
Wow.
in Kiriath Arba, which is now Hebron.
Hebron, yeah.
Imagine, after all those years together, that loss must have been just devastating for Abraham.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And he's got to bury her. But there's a problem. He's not from there, right? He's a nomad.
He's a wanderer.
Yeah. A foreigner and a stranger, the text says.
That's right, yeah. And owning land back then,
Yeah.
especially for burial, it wasn't just
No.
like owning some property.
Right.
It was about belonging,
Yeah, belonging.
putting down roots.
It's about lineage, establishing a claim to a place.
Yeah, and Abraham, he had been promised this land by God.
Right, but he didn't have any of it yet.
Right, so finding a burial spot for Sarah, it wasn't just practical.
Oh, no.
It was almost like a spiritual thing.
Exactly.
So the Hittites, they're the locals.
Mm-hmm.
They actually offer Abraham their top tombs.
Yeah, their choicest tombs.
For Sarah's burial, that's
incredible.
you could have just seen him as some outsider just
Sad,
passing through, but
Right, but they're offering him a place of honor among their own people.
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But Abraham, he
declined.
politely refuses. He's got his eye on a specific spot. The cave of Machpelah, owned by Ephron. Why this cave? Why was he so picky? What was so special about that particular cave?
Well, we can't know for sure,
Right.
but it seems like Machpelah must held some special significance for Abraham, maybe symbolic or strategic.
Interesting, yeah.
He's not settling for just any burial place, he's searching for a specific spot.
Right.
And there's also something else, I thought this was really interesting. The Hittites call Abraham a mighty prince.
That really stood out to me too.
Right, it's so interesting because he's a nomad.
He's not a king or anything.
He's not their leader or anything.
Yeah. Maybe it was his wealth, his age, his wisdom,
Right.
or even like the word was out about his God and how powerful that God was.
Mhm.
Whatever it was, they clearly saw him as someone important.
Oh, absolutely. They saw him as a person of influence.
Okay, so then things get even more interesting. Ephron, like in this big public display, offers to give the cave and the field around it
Just give it.
to Abraham
Yeah.
for free.
Yeah, it seems like a great deal.
That's amazing. Free prime real estate.
Yeah.
But
Okay, Abraham.
he insists on paying.
He insists.
Why?
Yeah, why would he turn down such a generous offer? It's not about the land itself, I think. It's about something more.
What do you mean?
Well, think about it. Abraham, he wants to be independent, not owing anyone anything.
Oh, I see.
He's also being respectful of the Hittite customs and laws.
Right.
By paying a fair price, there's no question of ownership.
Smart.
Yeah, it avoids any future disputes.
Yeah, it was really a smart move to secure his family's rights to that land.
Exactly. So they agree on a price. 400 shekels of silver, which back then was a ton of money.
Yeah, it's a serious amount.
It wasn't just a handshake deal, it was a formal transaction, probably even a written deed.
They made sure it was all official and legally binding.
Absolutely. And with that transaction, Abraham, he gets something really remarkable. I mean, it's more than just a burial site for Sarah.
It's more than just a plot of land, right?
Exactly. It's like he's planting a flag in the very land God promised him.
It's a foothold.
Yeah, a symbol of belonging and legacy, something he can pass down.
So it's a hopeful story.
It's a story about promise.
Yeah, about a future that's starting to take shape for Abraham and his people in this new land.
It really is. It's such a powerful story, and it makes you think, about respect, about how to approach different cultures with sensitivity.
Yeah.
And how our choices can have a lasting effect on the people who come after us.
It really does make you think. How often do we consider the deeper meaning of what we do and how those actions might affect not just us, but future generations?
It's a big question.
It is a big question.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. And until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning.